The ACC yesterday made a partial football scheduling announcement, and then today we got the entire schedule. But part of that announcement yesterday was that they were going to have specialty games on Thursdays and Fridays. Now, Michael Borky immediately went to Twitter and said that Friday is for high school football, and he won't hear any argument to the contrary. These are the Thursday night games involving ACC teams. Week 1, you've got 3 of them. All of these on August 29th. North Carolina at Minnesota. It's kind of fun. NC State and Western Carolina. Wake Forest, and I believe that's North Carolina A&T.
That is correct.
Those are all Week 1 games. In Week 8, Boston College at Virginia Tech. Yes. Virginia Tech on a Thursday night in college football, as it should be. I need to see a South Carolina game on a Thursday night also, but that's one of the ones that does it really, really well. Week 9, this is October 24th, Thursday night, Syracuse at Pittsburgh. And then Week 13, next to last weekend of the regular season, NC State at Georgia Tech. So that's 2 Thursday night games for NC State this season. And then you got Friday night games as well. Duke and Elon.
Quick, name that mascot.
The Phoenix.
Nailed it.
Stanford and TCU. And I'm going to be honest. Hey, Dad, I caught myself. I didn't do it. But I sat there and stood. I was like, why do they have a Pac-12, Big 12 game on the ACC schedule release? And I'm like, oh, wait. No. That's Stanford, part of the Atlantic Coast Conference.
That's correct.
I mean, you're like 2 drivers and a 3-wood from the Pacific Ocean in Palo Alto.
You know, it's really just one big ocean. There's no cutoff.
I mean, it is a reasonable point that you make. Those are both in Week 1. Week 2, SMU, BYU. SMU part of the ACC. Friday night game.
BYU part of the Big 12.
Yes, I'm aware.
Yeah, that's a Power 5 matchup there.
Stanford at Syracuse, Week 4, Friday night game. ACC game. Stanford at Syracuse. Virginia Tech at Miami.
All right, now we're getting somewhere. Yeah.
Hey, that's an ACC game. That's Week 5.
That's a Big East game.
Yeah, oh, jeez. Yes, it is. Week 8, the Metro Conference in the ACC. Florida State is at Duke in Week 8. Another, the Great Midwest Conference and the...
Oh, man.
Was Boston College at one point part of the Big East, or have they always been ACC?
No, they were a Big East team at one time, weren't they?
I think so. And didn't Louisville spend a
yeah.
short amount of time as part of the Great Midwest?
Yeah, they were Louisville's in the Metro, too.
Yeah. Yeah, I was just trying to broaden it out. Louisville at Boston College in Week 9. That's a Friday night game. Also, Cal at Wake Forest. That's an ACC game on a Friday night in Week 11. That's November the 8th.
So this is what stands out to me the most about this release here, is that the ACC will have half of its Week 1 schedule done by Friday night. Like they got a Thursday triple header and then 2 games on Friday. So where are the Saturday games Week 1 for the ACC?
Man.
Don't want to get buried into irrelevancy, I suppose. But, yeah, I took to Twitter. And now, the question is, do you want to see the SEC do this? And my answer is a hard no. I mean, Thursday night, whatever. But I do think there needs to be some protection of institutions even if it means you don't make as much money, because that's why these games are being put on Friday and Thursday night, because it's more television programming and that makes more money. But I think that the people of Durham, when Florida State comes to town, shouldn't have to choose between the high school game and the college game. I think that the high school football players in the area, like me when I was growing up, would go to college games on Saturday, whether it was Furman or we would go down to a Clemson game once a year and a Carolina game once a year. We would bounce up to UNC sometimes. You know, I got to do that because they all played on Saturday. You shouldn't have to choose. And I hate that, even if it's just for one game in Durham, in Winston-Salem, and Chestnut Hill, and Provo. These places are going to have to choose between the high school game and the college game. And I think that's unfortunate. Friday Night Lights should be for high school football only. We can play college on Saturday like it's meant to, and if you want to slap a game on Thursday, go for it. But disrupting the American institution that is high school football, I think, is a disservice to the people that play high school football in these towns.
I agree, but I agree less than I used to. And here's why. High school football is no longer exclusively played on Friday nights. Majority of high school games are played on Friday nights, but we saw even here in the state of Mississippi last year, there was a lot of high school football that was played on Thursday night throughout the season.
Well, wasn't that because of a ref shortage, though? Like, it wasn't just because they wanted to do that.
That was the reason here, yeah. But there are other places where they play high school football on Thursday nights, Friday nights everywhere, obviously, and a lot of high school football. I mean, a lot of high school football across the country gets played on Saturday. Now, whether that's because of lights or referee shortages or scheduling convenience for families and friends, I don't know. I don't know what all the reasons are. But the idea that the sanctity of Friday night is disrupted because you choose to play college games at other times, I'm less on board with that than I used to be. Now, the answer to your question, should the SEC be playing games on Friday night? Absolutely not. No. I'm okay with the occasional Thursday night game, especially during week one.
Yeah.
After week one, I don't really want to see the SEC on Thursday night. I mean, if you decided to do it, I guess, if it was like a big enough deal and a big enough showcase. This is going to sound like one of the most condescending things I have ever said on this show.
Oh, man, I can't wait because you have said some whoppers. Go ahead.
The
He had to
SEC,
clear his throat for it.
the SEC doesn't need the gimmick of playing college football on Thursday night or Friday night. You want to do it in week
That's
one?
not even the top.
No. I mean, the condescending part is to other leagues. If you're the ACC, you need to garner eyeballs. You need to gather attention. Yeah, you know what? Play it whenever you want to. If you're the MAC, yes, you're trying to. The SEC doesn't need that.
That's not even in the top 10 most condescending things you've said on this show. Everybody, that's just a fact, what you just said.
Okay.
Everybody knows that.